Good evening. I'm Joe Netherworld, and I'm here with your daily tarot card reading for Saturday, April 12th, 2014. And when it started, of course, we pick 3 cards, and one main card for the day, 2 qualifier cards that help support what the main card's message is. And I just wanted to start with a quick little aside. A friend of mine had asked me, like, well, how do you know, like, what your calling is and how things find you in the universe? And you have to open your eyes. And I think people are too self-centered. They look too deep into themselves and they just don't look around themselves. And one of the things I have that happened to me, I'm going to show you right here on my reading, rather cluttered reading table, is these are all playing cards. All random playing cards. What these all represent is all these cards, over 200 of them, in about the last, over the last 10, 15 years, I'd say, or less, really. I have moments of huge amounts of collectible, like finding lots of them in short period of time. I found all of these cards out in the world, on the street, in the woods, just hundreds of them, hundreds of them. And now they're all representative. I'd find like 2 or 3 at a time, and they represent things. You can look them up in other decks. You can use the Gypsy Witch deck as a reference because it's based on playing cards. Gypsy Witch deck, you know. Anyway, this is not the best way to show these things. But what happened is, no one else I knew really finds cards, and all these cards. I find cards. I talk to crows. Crows follow me around. I've been feeding my crows. This area I live in, Poughkeepsie, is known, amongst other things, before settlers really moved here, and the Indians referred to as Crow Hill. For hundreds of years, crows have been coming in the tens of thousands in the wintertime into this area of Poughkeepsie. And the crows come. They point out things. They're messengers and harbingers. Like these, and these are all from different suits and decks, and you could see, millions of different. Not millions. Sorry, I'm being a little gregarious and exaggerating the millions part. But sometimes like here, like there's 6 of spades. That's been kind of worn. These 2 5 of spades came in, together from 2 different decks on the ground. Now, so that's a weird thing that only really happens to me. I'm sure other people it happens as well here and there. But the point I'm making is keep your eyes open. Stop analyzing your life and your personal things and start opening up your eyes and seeing what's going on. Listen to things. Maybe certain songs play at certain when certain things are about to happen. Like there's a whole, and I don't like to use the term spiritual because I'm not really a spiritual person. I'm a unknown science kind of person. There's science we don't know about yet, which we refer to as spirituality. But the universe in general is always interacting with us, telling us things. And sometimes we're just thick as bricks and self-centered. And a lot of times I have clients, maybe I only read from them a few times, once a year or so, but they are so full of so many questions that they already know the answers to, that the universe has granted them answers. And I do love when I get clients that say things like, oh, well, when my mother died, bluebirds have been coming around ever since when it's like her anniversary of her death or her birthday. And good, you're paying attention. And I think that's really one of the guidelines to being a good reader and to being a good psychic is paying attention to all the things, all the obvious signs that are not obvious to everybody because they're so self-centered, so self-concerned. On that note, we're going to start today's reading, and this card just jumped out of the deck, and when cards jump, I grab them. And today's main card is the King of Swords. King of Swords is an action card. It's about getting things done. It's about having a plan and cutting through all the crap that gets around it. It's also a powerful male sexual card. It's a very strong masculine energy, but also sexual and aggressive. And that's good, because it means that we're, in charge of our own world. That could go for a man or woman. Just because it's a man with the sword does not mean it's the energy is the energy. It's representative of being a forceful protector, also taker, and get things done. It's about having jobs and following through on those jobs despite any casualties that happen along the way. It's a warrior card, and it's there's not much like the King of Rods. Other cards have like a they have an ability to be less aggressive. It's a rod. Rods are a little bit. You can knock someone on the head with a rod. You can't knock someone on the head with a sword. You cut their head off. So this is more yes or no, black and white, and aggressive energy. that's okay. We'll see what our other cards are. I like this card. That's just, the good old Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles I refer to sometimes as the eviction card. It is the having to walk away from things, and also sometimes being a crybaby and using your bad situations to be your crutch. It's almost as if you make things get bad, then you can also have like this sort of like Munchausen by proxy scenario where you can blame everything on this other situation. You make things bad for you, yourself, your family, for your friends around you, and then you want to sit and, oh, poor me, why does this have to happen to me? Why don't, why me, right? I've said that, but let's be specific. Instead of following through and being the king of swords and just, no, we're doing this and now we're done and forget about it, they'd rather not follow the answers and take care of the situation and leave it at that. They'd rather keep the situation bad and keep on having something to complain about. And that's a whole important, it's a very important gift they give themselves, And this, our third card, here we go. This tells a story. Actually, I won't get into it here, but it tells exactly a story of what went on with me recently and where I helped someone. I solved the problem done. They weren't following through with the solution, and they kept the problem alive, but they wanted to complain about the problem. The Hermit's calling you to, like, back up. The Hermit and the King of Swords are a powerful combination in that it's about backing up, removing yourself from the problem, finding an answer, enacting that answer, and then closing your mind to let it go. You have to make quick, hard, sharp, black and white decisions today, and then back off and be like, all right, I'm going to go think about this and what my next move is going to be and how I can benefit from this scenario. And there always is a benefit when dealing with people, on the most part. Their problem is their weakness. If you solve that problem, you have a certain level of, you've earned some profit in a sense. Use that to your advantage. Sometimes in a situation where you solve the problem, they're indebted to you, so therefore anything you need to do after that is yours to do. They're happy to do it for you, and there's no asking, there's no compromise. There's always a rule when you're doing favors for people. How much more is it going to cost you? I kind of jokingly say, about a lot of things. So what's that pay? And the answer is, oh, not only does it not pay you anything, it's going to leave you in debt. And why are you doing it? So take that into heart and understand that today is about make some hard, fast, quick decisions about everything you have to make. About if anything that comes down that you've been not deciding on, it needs to be decided today. It also needs to be your decision, not the group decision, and not what's good for everybody. No, what's good for you. Today is a selfish day. Today is a day of reflecting on what you do afterwards. The Hermit card. And the Five of Pentacles is showing you what the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Five of Pentacles is the woe is me, let me live in misery, let me have a Munchausen by proxy, I do love that term, scenario where I keep my bad stuff going and not dealing with it because I can complain about it and be the eternal victim where no one really expects anything from me and I got a lot of sympathy and pity. That's not how you get ahead in life, is being the victim of pity. That's how you get, you don't have to pay for dinner maybe at the diner when your friends go out because, oh, poor me, I'm broke, or, you don't have to be, and nothing's expected of you and everyone's just helping you. But that is a downward spiral. We want to avoid that at all costs. The King of Swords is coming today, is the energy, and it's everything. So if there's someone you've been wanting to ask out or be, intimate with, just go ahead and ask, and if they say no, or they give you any reasons they want to be with you, then, cut, next, cut and dry, go. Don't even offer don't offer a gratuity or offer a consolation prize. Like, okay, fine, I guess that's not what's happening with us. I'm out, I'm done. Today it's about brutality of the mind and being a warrior with a sword and be like, no, done, we're cut. I don't like this is a problem, I'm gonna fix it, and I'm moving on. If a person's a problem, they have to be cut from the playlist, move on. And then reflect. You're gonna learn something today by what people say and do to you, and how they react to your kind of like, black and white mentality, and then you'll know. So information has its own value, which is priceless. So keep that in mind. Now, I'll be here again tomorrow around midnight, so look for me then. Until then, you have a very magical day. Pushing the magic button.